Like I was like genuinely scared of doing mushrooms.
By the way, for the people who are concerned about my, first of all, I found out online. I found out from one of the listeners that I had a yeast infection in my ear.
Oh shit.
I went to CVS and I bought that little yeast medicine. And I take a little Q-tip and I put it in there. You know what? My ears are a little bit moisturized more, but they still smell like donkey fucking dick. Every once in a while, the juice that comes out of there is the worst, Lee. I am so embarrassed about it, but I addressed the issue, so thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? As you can tell, I'm looking very fucking, very, I don't know. Anyway, what were we saying, Tarzan?
I was just talking about doing mushrooms.
Listen, Lee, I'm a big fan of what you're doing. I fucking admire the ball sack on you. Uh, it's so fucking funny, you know. Like, point blank, I got into comedy after I read that fucking book by that fucking knucklehead Jewish junkie, whatever his name is. At the time I was out of prison and it fucking just sold me on what I thought I wanted to do. I knew I was a dead and goner, and I said, fuck it. What's the guy I'm talking about? Live from Carnegie Hall, the album I have?
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce. So, listen, when I got into comedy, I remember I got into comedy in June, all right? And I kept getting froggier and froggier. I would smoke dope and then I would stop. I would like, how can I? During the contest, I didn't do any drugs. Any drugs. I took that contest very fucking seriously. I had ruined everything in my life. I'm not fucking going to keep ruining it. I would go in there sober as a judge, and after whatever happened, I'd have a few fucking margaritas. I'd get a package, and I'd do what I have to do. I'm not going to fucking tell you I was a saint here. But I started experimenting. Like after 3 or 4 months, we started taking chances. And the biggest, worst thing I ever did was 8 months in trying to do blow.
On stage?
Yeah, and I was the first guy to go up. And I remember that I always struggled at other shows when I went up first. And knowing that, I said, you know what? I'm not going to wear a suit. That's the other decision I made that night. I'm not going to wear a suit no more. It's not getting me nowhere. The only thing I'm doing is dropping 12 a week on dry cleaning, and I spill it and it smells like dick and there's cocaine in the pockets. Why am I wearing a fucking suit for every week? That was the first week. I have fucking dressed like a shirt, pair of jeans, sneakers, and I got a package for the headliner, and he gave me like $250, and I did like 2 fucking lines, and I went and got on stage. That was not a fucking good situation for me that night.
What did it feel like?
It felt really fucking bad, guys. It did not feel good on stage. I knew I didn't have any control, and I never tried it again. That's how bad I felt on stage. Like all my life, I've been doing this dumb shit, and now I'm going to bring it into my comedy. Shame on you. So St. Patty's Day, 92, never again on stage. Then I started fucking around after the 10-year mark, doing it the night before a show. And if you don't think it hurt me, my performance, like if I got high on a Thursday night, if you want me to sit here and tell you it didn't hurt my performance on a Friday, shame on me. But that's a complete different thing. I know you don't drink alcohol. You're very focused on what's going on. And I'm very surprised that you're doing mushrooms, and I'll tell you why. I would have gave you mushrooms 3 years ago. And there's a certain reason with you. You're Jewish and you're neurotic. And I always told you, and I was kidding Josh when we did the Zoom call last night. I wasn't affecting you in no way. I always saw you as a Woody Allen type writer without, marrying some Chinese kid. I always saw you in that realm. I really did. Once you started doing comedy, I was very shocked what I saw came up. I know that every once in a while you want to work R-rated or whatever, but you were always very tight. And we'll go back to, Tonight I blew a whistle at my daughter's game,
Right.
right? When she was on pitching, and then I blew another one before she was batting. In between games, between a doubleheader, she goes, "Dad, do me a favor, don't fucking distract me with the whistle. What are you gonna do if you keep doing this once you go to play in Newark? What do you think those girls are gonna be doing? They're gonna be throwing chairs at you, and you're up there pitching or playing third base. What do you think you're gonna do? Is a whistle's gonna really fucking distract you? You know what I'm saying? And but you need that. That's how you grow sometimes. And since day one, and you can be honest, I don't give a fuck who knows. Whenever we did comedy at the Ice House, my job was to fuck you up.
Oh,
That
yeah.
job was because you had too much of a stick up your ass to do comedy. You had all the tools, except you were scared to cross that line. When you came into the office that day, and what I always loved about you was your comedy honesty. Everybody kills. Everybody kills every night.
Right.
It's at the 2-3 year mark. But they're sitting right next to you paying for a $5 spot.
Right.
And they bombed the last 3 times you saw. But their friend got them a spot at the Irvine Improv and they destroyed. They got a standing ovation. No, you came home and said, I had a great time, but the guy brought me up as Lee Swat. My insides crumbled up. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and I got that. That happened to me 1,000 times. I laughed because, wow, I forgot when it happened to me. Like you reminded me of all this shit I went through, and I would giggle because I'd forget how I reacted to it. Are you with me?
100%.
So, it's funny when you tell me those things. So when now you're doing mushrooms before a fucking show on Saturday night late, if you called me and said you bombed, I would never be angry at you.
Well, we sometimes do it right before I go on stage. It's not. I'm not like Theo who did it on the church and then went to the improv. I haven't. I've done shows with you on edibles a million times. I haven't felt the mushrooms on stage. That would be, but it is. We do it like either right before I go on or right after. But it's been. I don't. And Josh would never make me do it. I don't think. Like I don't feel like he. If I said no, he wouldn't give me shit. But I'm trying to be like, I don't know. I feel
When
like
in
that's like,
Rome, Lee.
yeah.